story and a song. College dreams and fields of green. Memories we all hold dear. Stories told in morning's glow. B1039 is here. On stove meat so full of cheer. Lively tunes for all to hear. And in sheriff side by side. Life and sports we take the ride.
Brought to you by Big Rapids Tire, Zott's Bar and Grill, the Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes, Harris Auto Service and Repair, M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing, and M&M Collision Center.
Maybe. But I have a special heart for Dawn in my heart for the underachiever. She came to Big Rapids as a special ed teacher. If I'm not mistaken, she can correct me if I'm wrong. But her and Randy Park, I'll never forget how much they meant to my daughter Abby. She was in a modified curriculum. I should have been one too, probably. But she was very sensitive to these people, that she knew that they could do better, and she brought pride to those, and she brought understanding. And I was saddened the day that she stepped up and went on to be the AD at Big Rapids, but God only knows why he had that plan for her at the time. I guess that was in God's plan, not in our plan. But my memory of her is she was passionate for people. She was understanding about people. She would listen. She was a great listener. But she has been God's gift to Big Rapids, more than her athletic ability and more than her coaching skills. It's just the way she treated people. And so she brings a lot of memories to this table of today's Hall of Fame. So it's not just athletic
What about Ben?
Hall of Fame, but, Well, I'm not done yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Usually you're the one cutting me off. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. I know I'm too sensitive. You know, the older you get, you're very sensitive about what people have meant to you in your lifetime. I'm going to let Brian talk about Ben since he brought his name up. Ben's with us too. But I just want to say, I just think the Hall of Fame is more than just a Hall of Fame. It's God has given these people a gift. And maybe they realize it, maybe they don't. But the greatest gift you can give a fellow American is a memory. And each one of these people have gotten that in life to others. You know, there's not others that are so fortunate to do that, what they've done. So I applaud them for being in the Hall of Fame. I think it's very worthy of it. And I think as history will show, these names, as history goes, that these people were a significant person in a lot of people's lives. I know I'm babbling on, so I'll shut up. But Brian, I want you to talk about Ben right here.
So I didn't really know Ben too much until just probably the last 4 or 5 years. Came to know him really, through Brad and some of the Big Rapids coaches, and I guess just a couple of the players that have gone through Chip Hills in the last 5 to 6 years that I know, and what they speak of, how they speak of him. He's tough. He's kind of an old school coach, I think, and I think we need more of that today. Sometimes I think we're a little too soft, but that's just my opinion. I think, I always like the coaches to have a little bit of an edge to them because I think the kids feed off that, and I think you get that with Ben, and obviously you've seen the success he's had, and very deserving to be elected into the Hall of Fame, just like the three in this room and Robin, who couldn't be with us today. So I think, Joe, I don't know who decides who this class is, but kudos to you and the rest of them, because I think you get very quality candidates.
Well, thank you.
You want me to say something? I'll say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, anyway, I just think it's great that you guys are celebrating this great gift that God gave you. I really do. I think God puts us all in a place that he knows you can handle. Ben Wright, you might say he's a tough coach, but I bet he's an understanding coach. Don Thompson, I know my daughter-in-law, Mackenzie, played for you. Did Amanda play for you too?
Yes.
Yeah, both of them. And I imagine they were pretty easy to coach. But I know they're easy to be daughter-in-laws, but like hell. But anyway, Don, I know you miss it. But, it says everything about you. You had your professional life, and you excelled in everything you did. And just to show what kind of person you are, you've resigned from all of that to spend time with what? Family. And that's what it's all about. Just like you, Nick. You know, you're a family guy. Your dad loves you. Your mother loves you. Your wife loves you. You got 2 great kids. You're doing what's mostly important in life right now is family. Ben Oleson, the same thing. You know, I mean, it's all about his dad was a great guy. His sisters, you know, he was the only boy, poor guy. But I know his mother real well. She raised a great guy. I mean, Ben, I don't really know if you realize the impact you had on all those players. I remember one parent, like I said, I have more than one memory of Ben Oleson as a coach. This one parent came in the station and was complaining about how tough Ben was on their child. He was a pitcher, and he was just being picked on. Ben was on him. And I looked at her and I says, down the road, you're going to thank Ben Oleson. Right now, he's your baby boy. He's still in diapers. He's a frickin' high school student. Except the fact that he's going to have a sergeant out there, and Ben Oleson probably should have been a sergeant in Army camp somewhere. But anyway, we're fortunate to have him. And I told her experience that I had with Adam. And I says, that turned Adam in from us. He wasn't spoiled, but he thought he was a pretty good athlete. I'm sure all kids do, right? He was put in his place, and he got better. He got better not only in baseball, but in life. He expected nothing but to be the best. And Ben Oleson did that for him. And anyway, as it goes down the line, I can't mention names. Or can I, Bob? I won't. But as it goes down, this young man turned out to be a Ben Oleson. So you see, right now it might not be the best thing for my little kid, but let it go, folks. These people in here loved your kids, right, Dawn? You loved their kids.
Absolutely. That's why we do this.
Yeah. And then Ben, the same thing, right? If you didn't have the love and the compassion and the passion for all this, you wouldn't have been in it.
For sure. Yeah.
Ben, you loved it, didn't you? You don't have a mic there, but you know, how many years did you coach, Ben?
16 years for baseball. There was nothing
Get
better.
closer to the mic.
There was nothing better than just being in the trenches with your boys and just fighting, you know. And as you progress along as coaching, it wasn't so much about the wins and losses. It was the personal victories that each kid had, like when the light bulb came on that one day when they've been working on something for weeks on end, and all of a sudden, boom, they get it. And as a coach, that's where you win right there. And like you were saying, Pat, then they add that to their life experience, and that starts forming them as men, and that's exciting.
Well, you had some pretty good boys playing for you. And now you're good friends with them all. You're good friends with my son Adam and Danny Horn, Coach Danny. And you can mention some others if you want.
I mean, I got a message from Michael Peterson yesterday telling me how excited he was for me.
One of my favorites.
A lot of people who you look back at just absolute workhorses, sometimes maybe not just like a great baseball player, but just an all-around athlete that just came in and just dug for you. I always told my captains, I said, I'm choosing you as a captain. If you don't want to do that, you can step away from it now because I'll be harder on you than anybody on this team. And it was guys like Michael who stepped up, and they were an extension of your coaching staff. And they met that challenge head on, and they were just outstanding. And I was very fortunate. I had a lot of really, really good guys that were able to do that for me.
Speaking of Michael Peterson, I coached him in basketball when he was a freshman. If I went top 5 most favorite people I ever coached in my life, I always tell your grandson Jack and Kurt Peterson this. I go, you guys, if you can turn out like Uncle Michael, then when I coached that kid, whoever their best player was is who we put Michael on. Whether it was their center, their point guard, whoever it was, Michael covered and just did an outstanding. And Michael, those of you guys, wasn't a real big guy, but just had heart and was competitive and just worked.
Well, Ben, didn't you, wasn't Hank Ware one of your mentors?
Yeah, so I grew up with Joe.
Yes.
And
yes.
I was on numerous of his Little League teams, travel teams.
Yes.
Hank,
He was a old-fashioned
very,
coach.
very old school, yes.
No hats on backwards. I can remember him yelling at kids. And, yeah, it's... and then Nick Scheible, I'd like to say I would like to take credit, but I can't. But I coached Nick in Little League. Me and his dad, Bill, and Mike Shellhammer were the coaches of the Little League. And Nick was one of those guys, never said nothing, never, not a problem. I'm going, gosh, anybody can coach Nick Scheible. And anyway, through the years, I think he holds just about all the quarterback records for Big Rapids High School. Maybe not all of them, but just about all of them.
I think they've all been beat by now, which is a good thing. Yeah.
And then hockey, obviously, he went on to play hockey at Ferris, and then the semi-pros or whatever you call it.
No, I was done after Ferris.
Or juniors.
Juniors and
oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was before Ferris. Yeah. But no, I mean, I think it's the same conversation. It's all about, we were super lucky in the time that I was going through school that we had, and you're well aware because your son was one. I mean, we had unbelievable classmates, right? I mean, our teams were great. It makes it a lot easier as a quarterback when you're throwing to Tyler Schuberg and handing it off to Nick Allen and Todd Shellhammer and throwing to Will Bowman and Eric Rosen, and same thing in hockey. We had so many great players at that time, and going through school that it's fun to have success, but you're just a byproduct of the people you're playing with, and getting to play with a really good group of people for a long time. One of the joys of being in a small town, being in a small town is you get to play with that same group for a long time, and so that's still the fun part of it for sure.
And then Ben Wright, I think he coached my niece's son. Let's see,
Tyler Gear. Yep.
Tyler Gear, and he was, he played in the Hall of Fame game for 3 or 4 years in a row, and a good young man.
Great young man.
Yeah. Well, yes, he is, and he talked highly of you all the time. And that's at family things. Well, my coach.
And
all this stuff.
It's all the lessons. Baseball, hockey, softball. All those things are fun, but the life lessons. Ben talked about that you can teach these kids of. What happens if you try harder? What happens if things don't go your way? And Tyler was one of those kids that he never thought he was good enough. And he was a really, really outstanding player and playing college baseball right now. Yeah. But he had to get to the point of understanding he's harder on himself and just let it all come.
Yes, that's for sure. He is.
But those relationships are great. In like all of us, we all have stories about that.
Yes.
It's very little to do with the X's and O's of baseball, more about the relationships.
Yes. And then Dawn, she, I can remember her. She coached my niece, Cameron Baumick, and the team she had that year or 2 years was amazing. And she was a mentor to all of them. And she was more than a coach, I should say. She was a friend. A hard friend when they were playing, but her expectations of young girls was pretty high, and most of them lived up to it. So,
Joe, has there ever been a father-son in the Mecosta County Hall of Fame? I'm just asking because Bill and I were talking yesterday morning, and I don't know if there has been a father and son now that Nick's in with Bill.
I'm not sure.
To put you on the spot, but
just a minute. Let me look at the.
Rex and Tyler, probably.
Good.
Hey, Rex and
now,
Tyler.
Wait a minute. Big Rapids, you don't know who's who anyway, so there probably is a couple of them in there. I'm just saying. And it can happen.
Yeah.
Dawn, who's your hero? Who made Dawn Thompson?
Wow. It's not easy just to pick one. But I would say somebody that's always been influential in my life from the very beginning was my grandfather. he's 93 years old, and he's coming up on Friday night, and I'm so excited. He just, he set the standard in our family for what it meant to work hard and sacrifice for others and love unconditionally. He's just a great man and been very influential in my life.
What's his name?
Stanley Thompson.
So, what did he do?
He worked for Riley for many years. It's where my dad works, my brothers work. They're actually, sending me photos today of them sweating. It's hot out there. But, my grandpa's well known in the Riley community. Worked his way up through the business to become one of their big guys, and so has made quite a career out of it.
You played Tri-County.
I did.
Started in what sport? All three, or?
Basketball and softball would have been my two favorite.
How far did you guys go back in far as districts? Or?
In basketball, we went to the Final Four in 1993, so a long time ago. In softball, we had some success, but not as successful as a basketball program.
Was there any coach that you remember that really excelled, the elitist coaches?
Oh, Keith Cranis, hands down. I had an opportunity this year to coach alongside him, which was pretty special. He held us to a high standard. I learned a lot from him as a young athlete. I didn't always love him, but I always respected him, and now I love him to death. He just taught a lot of life lessons. It was more than just basketball to him. And
well, you're a pretty good softball coach.
I did all right.
What took you to be such a great coach in softball? What did you have in you that you saw that you could excel in that?
I was fortunate to be surrounded by great coaches. I also, I played for Margot Yonker, who's probably one of the best coaches in the country when it comes to softball, and learned a lot of lessons and how to be a good coach, in my opinion. And then, one of the things she taught us is make sure that you surround yourself with good people. And I was fortunate enough, Jenny Prince, incredible coach to work with. I was able to work with Carrie Becker at Ferris State. I learned a lot from her. And then you look at the athletes we have here at Big Rapids. You mentioned Mackenzie and Amanda, awesome kids. They're not kids anymore, but, they worked hard. And I think this community in general, these kids are going to work hard for you if you set a high standard. And so I've been very fortunate to be, surrounded by good people and had the privilege of coaching a lot of incredible athletes.
What's the difference from back in the day to this day as far as coaching the kids that we have today?
You probably have to be a little more creative, Social media, that's no secret. It's huge now. We didn't deal with cell phones back in the day. We didn't deal with those type of distractions. So keeping things creative, interesting, finding different ways for kids to do a certain drill, so they don't lose interest. And so that's a little bit more challenging, I would say, in today's world of coaching. Back in the day, it was a little more hardcore. You didn't have to be as creative. I don't think so. And, it was certainly fun. But now there's just, kids are different, but they're also the same. They're going to work hard. If you give them a standard, they'll work hard. You give them a goal, they're going to try to achieve it. So kids are fun to work with every single day.
Do you think the girls play better ball now than they did in the day you played?
Oh, absolutely.
The athleticism is just a little bit more there, isn't
Absolutely. We're just more advanced, right?
Yeah.
We have more opportunities out there for us to play year-round. The equipment is better. It's more advanced. Get on YouTube, and you've got all kinds of different drills you can do, or, the new equipment that they've developed to help with a swing or to help with your shot in basketball. It's just way more advanced now.
Do you have any resentments?
No.
You don't resent doing anything in your past that you wish you had to do it over again? Would you do it differently?
Resent? You mean regret?
Huh?
You mean regret, not resent?
Yeah. Well, resent. Regret.
I think we all do. We've all made mistakes.
Well, I have that. I resent a lot of things I've done, I guess. That's why I had it in my mind. Pat, what are you doing? I resent being here. Should leave these people alone. Regrets. Do you have any regrets? Thank you, Brian.
No, I don't have any regrets. I've been really blessed. I was a 23-year-old kid when I came to Big Rapids. I had no idea the impact this town, or more importantly, the people would have on me in my career. So I feel really blessed. I've certainly made mistakes. But I'm a firm believer when you learn from your mistakes, you become a better person. And so sometimes mistakes are good.
I know I'm focusing on you a little bit too much, maybe, but I got one more question for you. Like, I love horses, and I've been racing horses since I was 16 years old. I tried to get out of it 1 year. I couldn't do it. It's a habit. I just love it. It's my passion. Do you feel like sometimes you wish you still were coaching softball? Or that's what I was trying to get at as far as regretting anything.
Gotcha.
Do you ever, like, say, you're still young, Dawn. I mean,
I'm still coaching. That's the cool thing, Pat. You know, you talked about it earlier. The reason I walked away was to spend more time with family. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm coaching my two 12-year-old nieces and a travel team. I was able to coach them in middle school basketball and softball this year. So I get to go, instead of be a spectator and watch my nieces and nephews, I'm able to work with them and help them with their skills and their passion. So still finding a way to fulfill that passion of coaching, but getting to do it with family.
This is a blooper then. I should have known that. Brian, you should have told me that she's still coaching. Don't ask that question.
We didn't brief beforehand, did we?
Ben, how many years you been coaching?
Oh, geez, 23 years I've been coaching. Yeah.
Brad Ancliffe along with you?
Brad's been there quite a long time. We've got quite a friendship, me and Big Brad, yep.
Do you play Beale City?
We do not play Beale City. There's a lot of reasons that I probably will say why we don't play Beale City. But I have nothing but respect for Brad and what he does. It's just one of those things where if they win, it's the World Series, and if we win, it's because they're small. So I'm totally vocal with that. When I retire, we can play Beale City every single day they want to. I don't care. But the last time we played Brad, and if he's listening, he's going to love this. We beat Brad the last time that we played him, and I vowed that day to never play Beale City again while I'm still the head coach.
Really?
Yep.
So if you guys played today, you'd beat them?
It'd be a good game.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody downstate about Beale City, and they said, well, it doesn't matter what sports program you play them, they're tough.
Yep.
They're going to be there in the game all the time. Ben, do you ever regret getting out of coaching? I know you've been busy with...
My body doesn't.
Yeah.
No, it was my coaching experience, 20 years, because I did baseball and wrestling. I got into coaching because I felt like I had something to offer, and I think I did that, and I really enjoyed everything about it. Well, there's always going to be a few things like, that, but we won't talk about that, but, but, no, I think I was able to coach during a time where preseason, you're either coming in the gym or you're coming out of the gym, and then there's Dawn bringing her girls in and stuff like that. And, I coached against Ben for years. I coached against Brad Ancliffe for years, There was just expectation. It was, you were showing up and you were representing your community, and you were just trying to make sure your boys were ready to go for those games and preparing for the postseason. And I think, we accomplished that. And it just got to a point where, I felt like I had reached my zenith. I think a lot of it was the kids were changing. As you get older, the kids don't get older. And then, it was just getting harder to connect. And it was time to step away and let the next generation come in to take it from there. And like you were saying earlier, seeing guys who were freshmen in high school when you were coaching them, and you see them out in the community and they're men, Adam is a perfect example. And having those conversations, it's just, you get done with the conversation, you walk away and you're proud of that moment because of who they've become, and there's so many people like that. I mean, I still talk to people that I was coaching like the first couple of years, like they'll just shoot me a text every once in a while, just asking how they're doing, stuff like that. So it is relationships, and I've been fortunate to have some great players. I always had some really good people around me coaching wise, which extremely important. Fortunate and thankful for all that I was able to be a part of. So.
Now, being a coach, did you try to follow in anybody's footsteps? Like you looked at the coach and said, hey, I want to be like him. My style's going to be like his.
A lot of my influence came from Judd Folsky. Okay. When I was playing in high school, we shared the field with Ferris.
Oh, okay.
So when I was little, man, you saw him, and he was just a 4'9" tornado out there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he was something. And I was able to play a couple years after high school for him. What I learned and took from him, a lot of my game planning was based around what he had taught me and shown me. But the utter respect that he demanded from players and that he got was just unreal. He was the standard. There's no question. So it took a lot from Judd.
Ben, did you have anybody you tried to follow?
Yeah, there was a lot. He brings up Judd Folsky's name. Judd had a story when I was in high school. He had moved on to Central Michigan, and I had a conversation with him about the opportunity to play college baseball, and he was straight up and said, "You can't play here. You're not good enough." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Now I know." So, and that hit. It didn't crush my dreams. I didn't go home and talk to my mom and dad about how bad of a person he was. But it was just the reality of the situation. A lot of other coaches, Dean Kriener, the former Central Michigan coach, had a big impact on my coaching style. Coach Earl Hartman, who's at Sacred Heart still, just won a state championship, who I played for. And I take a little bit of all of these people, but the thing that I learned really early was you can't try to imitate somebody else. You have to be yourself, and you can take pieces from all of the coaches that you had to make an impact on those kids. But there's a ton of them. And when I grew up, Central Michigan area baseball was in the top in the state. There was Luke Eppel was a coach that I looked up to. Denny Kriener was a coach. Jack Narker at Shepherd High School. All these people were legends. And when I got into coaching, I just wanted to be respected by them. I knew I was never going to be as good a coach as they were, but if they were saying, "Man, you had a pretty good team," that was better than any victory that I ever had, because of the respect that I could get from those other people.
All right, well, we'll take a break here, Bob, real quick, and we'll be right back with this fabulous 4 out of the 5 inductees.
At Paris Auto Service and Repair, you can get your car road trip ready with their hot seasonal deals. And speaking of hot, make sure you stay cool this summer with a $10 off AC recharge. Man, today is a scorcher. But I'll tell you what, your AC is as cold as ice. It's cold. Paris Auto Repair does all that and much more. Brakes, alignments, tires, transmissions, anything under the hood, Paris Auto Repair can cover. And with state-certified mechanics, you're in great hands at Paris Auto Service and Repair. Just give them a call, 231-796-7355. Or stop in at 18415 Northland Drive in Big Rapids.
M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing has been in business for over 30 years, gaining the trust of Big Rapids and the surrounding communities. M&M Lawn Care can handle all your lawn care needs, as well as tree jobs and including removal. Call for a free quote, 796-4956. They're fully insured. Call M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing, proud local sponsor of Curries Hot Stove League.
Come say cheers at Zott's Bar and Grill in Big Rapids. Great food, great prices, and great people, where everybody knows your name. Zott's, people's choice for best soup. You don't want to miss their award-winning burgers and chili as well. Originally opened in 1933 and serving it up ever since. Seasonal beers on tap. Located at 732 North State Street in Big Rapids. Roxanne and Doug at Zott's Bar and Grill are proud sponsors of the Signature Player of the Week for the Curries Hot Stove League every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. When was the last time you checked your tires? At Big Rapids Tire, they know how important it is to keep your ride smooth, safe, and reliable. Whether you're cruising down the highway or navigating tough weather, a fresh set of tires ensures you're ready for anything. Their expert team will help you find the perfect tires for your car and get you back on the road with confidence. Brakes, alignments, struts, and shocks, they do those as well. Don't wait for a blowout, or worse, visit Big Rapids Tire for unbeatable prices, quality, and peace of mind. Big Rapids Tire, Northland Drive, just north of town.
Booked at Curries.
Pete, why do you come to Curries?
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I go to Curries to get the cheeseburger with caramelized onions and mayonnaise and ketchup. And you're not going to ask, where's the beef? It's going to be in the bun.
This is Alec Gary of Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes in Big Rapids and Barrington. I believe what sets Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes apart from everyone else is our commitment to service excellence. When a family calls, we are there before, during, and after the funeral experience. I want you to be able to trust calling us We're here to guidance and counsel each and every single family to each and every single need. And we just feel like the commitment to families, especially ones that put their care and trust in us, we are going to go above and beyond to do anything we can to help a family during their time of loss. This is Alec Gary, a legacy of service, a promise of care, with Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes, located in Big Rapids and in Barrington.
Hi, this is Pat Curry. We're right here with Brian Miller at 1039. We talk about what's happening with sports in Big Rapids. Well, we got a new sponsor. None other than the Great Body Shop right on Maple Street, east of the bridge in Big Rapids, Michigan. It's called M&M Collision Center. They're celebrating 30 years of trusted, top-quality auto body repair and remains the name you can trust. Whether you have a major collision repair or a minor fender bender, our award-winning team has you covered with free loaners and vehicle detailing with every repair. They work with all insurance companies and treat every vehicle like it's one of their own. From auto body repairs to supporting local community organizations, giving back to the community is part of who they are. Come and see Matt and Devin and Trish and Justin. Just a great group of people there. Come and see why Big Rapids trust M&M Collision Center of Big Rapids, where quality and community come together.
This is Alec Gary of Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes in Big Rapids and Barrington. I believe what sets Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes apart from everyone else is our commitment to service excellence. When a family calls, we are there before, during, and after the funeral experience. I want you to be able to trust calling us. We're here to guidance and counsel each and every single family to each and every single need. And we just feel like the commitment to families, especially ones that put their care and trust in us, we are going to go above and beyond to do anything we can to help a family during their time of loss. This is Alec Gary, a legacy of service, a promise of care, with Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes, located in Big Rapids and in Barrington.
M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing has been in business for over 30 years, gaining the trust of Big Rapids and the surrounding communities. M&M Lawn Care can handle all your lawn care needs, as well as tree jobs and including removal. Call for a free quote, 796-4956. They're fully insured. Call M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing, proud local sponsor of Curries Hot Stove League.
All right, back to you, Bob. All right, we're back here with a lively crowd. Hardly could keep them down during the intermission. Passed a little cigarette around here, smoked a little beer. Oh, no, smoked a little cigarette and drank a little beer. That's at night. Hey, anyway, we're back at the inductees here, a great group here. One thing I would like to mention is they all have one thing in common. It's making memories. As I stated at the onset there, that it's all about making memories. Ben Oleson made great memories for a lot of people. Ben Wright still doing it. Dawn Thompson, I just found out, still doing it, only in a different school. God bless her, but because of family. Now, the next guy I want to bring up here, his dad and I have been good friends for a long, long time. And I watched him being raised by his dad and mother. He's got a great set of parents there. I want him to talk a little bit about who he is now, and was it because of his dad's leadership? Because his dad coached him for a lot of years in everything he played. He played baseball. I remember when he played as a pitcher. He was a pretty good baseball player at high school. Everybody always talks about his hockey achievements. But I remember him playing baseball, and he was on a pretty good team back then, too. I know everybody talks about his football career and their record, how they should have been in the tournament play, but unfortunately, the way that's set up back in those days, they weren't awarded that prize. But if they would have, I think they would have went a long ways. I was at that game when he got beat by Orchard View. I think it was only second defeat that year. I could be wrong, but my memory is what it's all about, and that's what I'm talking about. These people have all made great memories, and I'm one of them that has that. I remember Nick playing baseball, football. Everybody remembers hockey, and that's what he went on and played more hockey. But he excelled in the other two sports, too, and his dad coached him in the other two sports, which I don't think he coached you in hockey, did he?
He did not. No, that's why I kept playing it.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah. But he coached you in football all the way through your senior high.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then baseball, too.
Yep.
And then who was head coach back then? Soares?
Baseball, yeah. Eric Kramer, and then Rod Soares. Yeah.
So your experience, you loved hockey, obviously. I don't know what it is about hockey in the blood, but Miller can expand on that too if he wants to. But you were a pretty good baseball player.
Sure. Yeah.
You guys had a pretty good team.
We did have some good teams.
How far did you go? What was your best year?
I think our best year we won districts and went to a regional. I think that was probably my sophomore year. But yeah, no, we had great teams in all the sports, and it's fun, going in. Obviously, very honored to be going in, but with a bunch of coaches. That's pretty cool because I'll tell you, in my playing career, I had awesome coaches. I had guys like my dad for a long time, but Randy Park and Eldon Houston, and in high school, I had Jim Baker and Rob Houston in hockey. Eric Kramer, Rod Soares. Guys that I had people. That were a huge help in my life. There was a conversation about Judd Folsky, during the break there, and Judd was a huge part of my baseball growing up and watching Ferris and going to their camps every year, and still talk to Judd today. And so, a ton of good coaches, which makes it a lot of fun. I talked earlier about just being surrounded by a lot of great people. But yeah, I probably kept playing hockey so that my dad wouldn't be my coach.
Really?
Yeah.
I never thought of that. That's pretty good. But he was a big influence on the serious side. He really dedicated himself to you for 18, 19 years, didn't he?
Yeah.
What did that mean to you? I mean, there's other kids on your team that some of their dads never came to a game.
Sure.
And your dad came to every game and throughout your whole career. What did that mean to you, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. And I don't know if you always realize it when you're going through it. I did eventually, but when I was younger, I don't know that I totally realized what it meant. But, you talked earlier about when I was playing in Ontario. And first of all, shout out, happy Canada Day. It's Canada Day today. So the rest of my family's there celebrating that. But our home games were Friday nights, and he was a relatively new insurance agent in town, and he would leave his office at noon on Friday. He would be at every Friday night game. And at the time, he was open on Saturdays too. So usually he would turn around after our game and drive back and be at his office Saturday morning. So, that's something for me, like, my kids will feel that same thing. I don't want to miss. I don't like to miss. There are times that I have to miss, and it drives me crazy. I try and do everything I can to not do that. But so that was a massive. And my mom was the same. My mom was at as much as she could possibly be at. I had an active sister as well, and so it was a divide and conquer. And we're going through that part too. But no, family plays a huge part, in everybody's success, I think, and I'm no different there.
You watched your dad work hard his whole life. He must have been a great hero to you back then, and a mentor to you to how it's supposed to be done, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was, picture of hard work, for sure.
And then, you're coaching your kids now.
Yeah. Yeah,
and do you think the reason you're doing it is because you were fortunate enough your dad did it for you?
Yeah, probably.
Not that you owe it to him or anything. It's just that
I just want to be in total control so I can tell everybody.
Yeah, well, that ain't going to work out too good. Believe me, I'd rather my
not
biggest
be.
fault is that trying to be.
You are married, right, Nick?
Yeah. That's why I want to coach so I can be some
there you go.
in some part of my life.
I had Adam on here yesterday, and Heather Miller and Bridget from Life Resources, and they're having this golf outing coming up, and Adam. They asked me to do it last year, and I said, yeah, I'll do it. And then I went right to Adam right away and said, hey, Adam, you're going to be golfing in this thing up to El Dorado in Cadillac. I'll help sponsor you, blah, blah, blah. So I said to him yesterday, Adam, that was great that you did that. Fill us in why, and he goes, he looked at me, he goes, well, I pretty much do everything you say I got to do. So I had no recourse on that one. But anyway, I just think it's wonderful that, again, I go back to the whole family thing. Ben Oleson, you look at your mom and dad, the influence your dad had on you. I know, did he ever coach you, your dad? I know he went to your games and stuff. And
just some little league stuff, nothing major other than that.
Yeah. So who was your mentor? You said Judd Folsky was, pretty much.
I really looked up to Judd because for years of when I was playing high school, we'd be waiting for Ferris to come off, and he was just he was exciting. He was an exciting person to watch. He was very dynamic, and again, he just the little small conversations, the things you could learn in a 2-minute conversation with him was it was unreal. It was really cool. So,
anybody stick out in your mind, Nick, as a teacher, baseball coach, anybody, kindergarten teacher, who sticks out in your mind as was really influential over you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, influential on the hockey side. That's, where I ended up focusing at a certain point. But Jim Baker, my high school coach, was, he's an incredible coach. He was an incredible mentor. He's somebody that helped me later, as I was trying to go to that next level. He was somebody that kind of kept me calm and said the right thing's going to happen. You just got to, be in the right position. So Jim Baker had a huge influence on my hockey career. And then when I was at Ferris playing, Bob Daniels is just an incredible person. He was a very good coach as well, but as a person, he's still a friend of mine. And it's funny when again, going in with a bunch of coaches, to this day, whenever I see any of those people, it's still coach. Right? It's not, hey, Bob or hey, Randy or whatever. It's still coach, because that's the respect in my mind that I have for those people and the impact that they had on me. So, I think that, all of these people have the same relationship with a ton. I know that. I've seen them called coach years after they've been somebody's coach. And to me, that's a huge thing.
One thing about athletics, it does make you successful. I look at all 4 of you guys, and you're all successful in your own right. You've done what you've achieved because of sports, don't you, Dawn? What do sports do for you?
I would agree. Just the life lessons you learn. I think my parents afforded me every opportunity to participate in athletics. I was the oldest of 5. We didn't grow up with a lot of money, but we never missed a practice. We never missed a game. Dad would come straight from work, in his work clothes, every chance he got. So our whole family just dove into athletics, and it taught us so many life lessons that I was able to use as a teacher, as an athletic director, as a coach. So very blessed to be able to have those opportunities.
Your siblings, are they coaching or anything? Or?
Oh, yeah. Both my brothers coach wrestling down at Tri-County. My sister Deanna helps me with basketball and softball down there coaching. So it's just kind of in our blood.
Yeah, you have a lot of families that you remember down there, I'm sure. Any of your teammates get back with you much at all and say, hey, Don, good to see what you've achieved, and vice versa? Is there anybody out there that played with you back in the day that has achieved great coaching?
Oh, they've achieved great things in life. Right. I don't know whether, a lot of them picked coaching, but I stay in good contact with some of my high school teammates, college teammates. It's awesome, the relationships you build. That's, another huge part of being in athletics. You just get to build relationships with people that are lifelong. I'm thinking I graduated high school over 30 years ago. And so, to be able to be friends with those people still and watch their families grow and be able to hang out at the lake on a hot
says
day,
a lot about
awesome.
you going back there, because you gave up a lot in Big Rapids. You had a great career here. You could do pretty much whatever you wanted because of you set the tone for a lot of people. But for you to give up, that says a lot for you, because you gave it up for
It was
family.
easy, Pat. And I don't mean that in a way that is anything against Big Rapids, but when you put family first,
right,
and you make decisions based on that, and my own family, right? Not just my nieces and nephews. I have a granddaughter that's 1 year old, and I'm pretty biased, but I think she's the greatest grandkid there is.
Right.
It was an easy decision to be able to get that time back in life, and I'm so grateful for it because I get to spend it with family.
Ben, how many children do you have?
I don't have any children. I have 2 dogs.
2 dogs?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I've got 300-400 sons that I've coached throughout baseball and things like that. That's enough for my wife and I to take care of. So.
Right. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Ben, you have any children out there yet?
No, I was the same thing Ben said. I've had a lot of boys over the years. Just extended family. When I dove into it, that's just kind of how it was, and very fortunate to have that family.
Nick, your dad was a heck of a football player, even though didn't have a winning record. But I remember my dad watching your dad play, and Sontag and that group. Those guys get together. That fraternity will never be broken. Do you have that yet in your?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think like, has been mentioned here, the relationships that you can develop being a part of a team is huge. You still talk to it. It's funny. I play in a men's league hockey league here in Big Rapids, and at times I'm on the ice with my line mates from my freshman year. John Cleaver and Jamie Park and I were aligned 30 years ago. 30 years ago, we were aligned together before most of the kids we play against were born. And so I mean, you still have those relationships. A lot of my college teammates, are still some of my best friends today. We stay very close. Some of that's with, the alumni golf outing and stuff like that through Ferris, but we still get together all the time. And it's fun. Again, coaching my kids now, and we talk about the hockey world, but it's any of the sports worlds are so small. Like every ice arena I go into, there's probably somebody I either played with or played against that are now there coaching their kids, and it's awesome to see. I'll bang on the glass to somebody, and see the surprise in their eye. And so, I still stay well connected with a lot of the players that I played with over time. So,
one more question, I'll give it to Brian and Joe. What's the positive about living in Big Rapids, Nick?
Oh man, there's a ton of I love living. Growing up here, I thought I would never live in Big Rapids. Right? I always thought I was going to be somewhere else. I moved away to Canada and came back for college. Moved away from my first job out of school, and I came back 9 months later. And being able to raise a family here in a community that knows you and has supported you over time, and to be able to be involved and give back to that same community, for me has been massive. Big Rapids is an awesome place to be, to live, to be involved, to work, all those things. And I have felt community support for my entire life, whether it was when I was younger and playing sports, or even today in business. It's a great community to live, work, and play, right, as the sign says. But it truly is. It's really a great place.
Ben?
Yeah, a lot of what Nick said, it's just familiar faces, you stop and grab, some gas, or, sometimes you go into like Meyer or whatever, and you got to bring an itinerary of what it is you have going on, because you're going to run into 17 people that are going to want to know everything you got going on, and that's what it is. It's just nice, the friendly faces, the community, has kept me gainfully employed for a long time, and I appreciate that. But it's just knowing people. Hey, somebody so-and-so said you can do this and this. I get here today, Don's like, hey, do you know an electrician? Stuff like that. So right. It's, it's just nice to be able to, be appreciated at the same point while you're appreciating everybody around you too. And it's a great environment.
I laugh. I'll just share this with you. Yesterday, I went to the box store, and I told Penny I had to get something, just one item. I came back 2.5 hours later, and she goes, where you been? I says, I got there, and I got to talking to your brother-in-law, Gary, and I bet I talked to him for an hour, and then 4 other people for 15, 20. Before you know it, 2 hours and a half gone by. I love it. I love Big Rapids. Well, Ben, what do you love about the area?
Well, yeah, I'm kind of new to the area. I've only been here for the last 20-some years, but
right.
I grew up in Mount Pleasant, and it's a very similar community. And in my experiences when I went to high school, like these two gentlemen have said, it's the connections, knowing people. It's the little things that happen. And I've got friends, in both communities that really look out for me still. And I feel like I'm 17 years old sometimes, because some of these people that I looked up to was like, wow, they're like, hey, you're doing pretty well, And so I'm not big for cities and big areas. This is more my speed around here. And even though a lot of people do know you and know the majority of your business that you're in, it is good. it is good to just be in a smaller area. Yeah.
Well, I had a good friend of mine, Chris Boring from Adrian, Michigan. He's a Hall of Fame horse trainer and driver, harness racing. And I asked him one time, we were in Hazel Park, I said, Chris, you've had lots of chances to go big time, national stage. Why didn't you? He said, Pat, I always felt that I'd rather be a big fish in a small pond than a small fish in a big pond. He said, I've enjoyed Michigan. It's a small area, but yet, I've made a living here. It's not all about money. Sure. It's about that relationship. And he said, I got with you and everybody around you. We all know each other. Don, how about you? How would you sell Big Rapids?
I would agree with these guys. It's the people. It's the relationships you build. It's the support. I think back to my coaching career and career as an athletic director, and we're getting spectator buses, and businesses are donating money to make sure that, we can have a charter bus to go to the Final Four, and, our fans can go. And it's not just the kids, it's their parents, it's their grandparents. I remember when we were playing up in Gaylord at a regional final, and the amount of community members that made the trip, it's just incredible. So I think that small town support and knowing each other and taking a lot of pride in our successes is what makes it so special.
Well, you think about it, we're sitting in here at 103.9 at 10 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. Big cities don't do this. There's too many, right? But small people really are big people when it comes right down to it, because of the memories you guys have made with all these young people. And I think that's what the Hall of Fame's all about. It really is. But I'm done.
No, you're done
go
great.
Ahead. No, go ahead, Brian.
Well, it's not just sports.
No.
Listening to these four here yesterday, Casey Nemeth and I were sitting with a prospective employee. We'll have an opening here in about a month with the retirement of Mike Moore, and we're talking to this young man who just graduated from Ferris, is from Indiana. And we sat, and a lot of our conversation wasn't so much our law enforcement agency, but the community as a whole that this young man would be moving into, and what it means to us. And so just to hear them talk, it's true. It's about the community and as a whole, and there's no better place to raise your kids or have a family than Mecosta County, and I truly believe that, and that's something we promote.
Well, I agree with that. I've lived here my whole life. My mother and dad lived here their whole lives. My grandpa came from Italy in 1906 and had 12 kids. So locally, I got 52 first cousins just on the Bechaz side. So anyway, yeah, we're connected to the community, and I just am really proud of this year's inductees and their accomplishments. Now, Brian, you mentioned something about is Bill the first, or Nick the first father-son team. Actually, they're not. And that's what makes our community great. Sons follow, then grandsons follow their dads and granddads. But the Rabs, for example, Art Rabb was a tremendous athlete, and then Jerry Rabb and Gary Rabb, they were my age. They're in the Hall of Fame. The Hollisters.
Corky.
And Fonda Hollister Kuntz is a member, and Tyler Schuberg, Rex Schuberg, Brad Ancliffe, Marston Ancliffe. I don't know if any of you ever heard of Marston Ancliffe, but he was one of the best athletes this area will ever see. I mean, anyway, and then Gordy Allers Jr., Pat Curry, Rich Curry, the Horns, three of them, Bob, Tom, and Bob Jr., which is the oldest. And let me see, Amy Jean Bongard. So, yeah, we've had quite the hurdles. Clint Hurdle,
yeah.
Bud Hurdle. Now, Bud Hurdle is Clint Hurdle, the professional coach's dad, actually. So, yeah, we've had quite a few. And then both the Lanes, I can remember they were professional boxers. One participated in the Olympics, boxing. Matter of fact, Jean Baumick is a sister. Her aunt was a sister of Gordy and Kenny, and so yeah, we got quite a history right in the Hall of Fame, and even Robin, the other inductee that isn't here, she's related to the Hunties.
Yep.
So there's quite a connection there too. So anyway, I would like to congratulate all of these inductees and we'll see you Friday night.
So what's the I guess schedule of events for that night for the public that may not know, and what times everything start?
Well, being that there's going to be a parade, we're going to start a little later, probably 6:30. Hopefully the parade will be ended by then or close to it. So, because there might be kind of a traffic jam around. So,
I hope there is.
Yeah, we hope there is. Anyway, but it'll be Friday night, 6:30, and we just please everybody show up. Bob's going to be there helping with the speakers and
I get to say WBZX Big Rapids.
Yes. Bob's been really a great help. It takes a lot of people to make this a success, and Pat is part of it. I don't know if he wants to say anything about that.
I just want Brian. You say something, Brian. Fair's coming up. We're having a great time here in Studio 1039 with Brian Miller. Go ahead, Brian.
No, I'm good. Go ahead, Joe. Keep talking.
We'll wrap it up.
All right.
Oh, you blow hard. Give me that mic. All right. I want to congratulate these guys too. It's too bad that Robin couldn't come. She's another great lady that's made a big impact in Morley Stanwood volleyball, right?
Yep.
Volleyball, and her husband Matt been married how many years? They said
they just had an anniversary.
45 or 56 or something like that. Yeah. So Robin, I know you're not here in the studio, but well, that's your loss, because these four here have had a great time, I hope, and
maybe that's why she didn't come on.
Huh? Well, maybe we can get her on afterwards.
She said she would.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, because she's got a great daughter that's playing right now, and like Dawn, she's coaching her, right?
Two daughters.
One's
in college, and one's going to be a senior.
Yep. So for you folks that don't know Robin, you're going to get to know her someday when she comes in with Brian. Nick Scheible, I want to congratulate you again. You come from great family. I knew your grandmother over in Emmett, Michigan. Your dad talks about walking 20 miles to the old school there, or what's the Catholic school
that story
over there? Yep, in Port Huron. And then Dawn, once again, I really congratulate you for being an impact on so many more than just athletes at Big Rapids High. You've had a great career there, and we wish you well down Tri-County. But thanks again.
Thanks.
Ben, I know you've had a big impact. I don't know you that well, but I know people that know you, and they all talk very highly of you, and that right there is quite an accomplishment for being a good human being. Ben, you're not only a great person and was a great coach, but the influence that you had on, like I talked earlier on, what you did for him, and so many other ball players. I remember the first meeting you had with the parents. I was there in the auditorium, and you said, "I'm here to coach your people, your children, not you. So please refrain from anything you have to say until after the game." I remember that, Ben. And I thought, wow, I hope the rest of the parents heard it. I know I did. But I want to thank you for being a great person in Big Rapids. God bless America. Bob, any last words from anybody here at all? No?
You did well.
Well, God bless you. See you next time. Bye-bye.
When was the last time you checked your tires? At Big Rapids Tire, they know how important it is to keep your ride smooth, safe, and reliable. Whether you're cruising down the highway or navigating tough weather, a fresh set of tires ensures you're ready for anything. Their expert team will help you find the perfect tires for your car and get you back on the road with confidence. Brakes, alignments, struts, and shocks, they do those as well. Don't wait for a blowout, or worse, visit Big Rapids Tire for unbeatable prices, quality, and peace of mind. Big Rapids Tire, Northland Drive, just north of town.
Come say cheers in Zott's Bar and Grill. Downtown Big Rapids. Great food, great prices, and great people. So come on down where everybody knows your name. Zott's Bar and Grill, the People's Choice Best Soup winner. The burgers are where it's at. Originally opened in 1933 with seasonal beers on tap. Located at 732 North State Street in Big Rapids. Zott's Bar and Grill is a proud sponsor of the Signature Player of the Week for the Hot Stove Sports League every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m.
Hi, this is Pat Curry. We're right here with Brian Miller at 1039. We talk about what's happening with sports in Big Rapids. Well, we got a new sponsor. None other than the Great Body Shop right on Maple Street, east of the bridge in Big Rapids, Michigan. It's called M&M Collision Center. They're celebrating 30 years of trusted, top-quality auto body repair and remains the name you can trust. Whether you have a major collision repair or a minor fender bender, our award-winning team has you covered with free loaners and vehicle detailing with every repair. They work with all insurance companies and treat every vehicle like it's one of their own. From auto body repairs to supporting local community organizations, giving back to the community is part of who they are. Come and see Matt and Devin and Trish and Justin. Just a great group of people there. Come and see why Big Rapids trust M&M Collision Center of Big Rapids, where quality and community come together.
Wednesday morning sun is rising, and Brian talking strong. High school tales and sports they bring, life's a story and a song. College dreams and fields of green, memories we all hold dear. Stories told in morning's glow, B1039 is here. Art stove meets so full of cheer, lively tunes for all to hear. Pat and Sheriff side by side, life and sports we take a ride.
Brought to you by Big Rapids Tire, Zott's Bar and Grill, the Dackett Gilbert Funeral Homes, Harris Auto Service and Repair, M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing, and M&M Collision Center.